Is there a perfect leadership style or type to aspire to?
I don't think there's any perfect style or type, and I don't see leaders trying to become carbon copies of other leaders, trying to be a Jack Welch or trying to be a Bill Gates. Copycat leadership never works, and you're inauthentic, and everybody knows that. And one of the things that people want in organizations, the followers want, they want their leaders to be authentic, to be real, to be human. And to do that, you've got to know yourself. You've got to be happy and confident within yourself. And all the great leaders, they're all very different. I mean, a Jack Welch is different to a Branson, to a Jobs, or even a Herb Kelleher. They've all got different characteristics. But the thing about leadership is that being yourself, you've got to be able to connect with everybody in your organization. You don't just lead the people who agree with you. You've got to lead a lot of people who don't and convince them. And some of the common elements, you've got to have empathy with people, you've got to have some fun, you've got to have clarity of direction, a strategic brain, passion and character, and above all, courage.
Are you born or made a leader?
I think you're both. I think some leaders are born, the likes of a Winston Churchill. The genetic background of certain people makes them good quality leaders probably in the future. But I think today there's a lot of moulding of leaders. They have to have certain things, certain characteristics anyway. They've got to be able to communicate. They've got to have some charisma. They've got to have confidence in themselves, their ability. They've got to have an intelligence. They've got to be able to see a way into the future, and they can get people to follow them along that path. It is the show. It is the show that never ends. The great leaders, the best leaders, are constantly developing and refining their style using things like feedback, both qualitative and quantitative. A bit like golfers, continually working to get better. And the great leaders are always trying to get better. And so that's why I think the answer is more made than born, probably.
What advice can you give someone trying to develop their leadership skills?
I don't think I'd give them any advice necessarily directed to their leadership skills. I'd ask them the question around, how do you want to become a more effective leader? How are you going to be more impactful as a leader? And those are the key top questions. Skills, of course, is part of it. There's other sort of techniques and things involved. One of the things that drives this whole improvement area in leadership is around feedback. Feedback from peers, feedback from subordinates, feedback from anybody who's really relevant to that question. And using that feedback effectively, constantly shaping and changing what I would call almost the leadership golf swing. There's a great book written by Rob Goffey, Professor of Leadership at London Business School, which is titled, Why Should Anyone Be Led by You? What a great question. And the other great question is, why should I follow you? What is it about you as a leader that actually makes me want to follow you? And those are the questions. So we have to develop this mindset of constant learning and development, understanding ourselves as leaders, our leadership style, and driving for greater impact with our organisation.